All right, we turn our attention back to the Asia Pacific, where there is now an ongoing conflict over Taiwan between Japan and China. And that has brought in other actors like the US and Russia, who are now conducting drills with those that back. Russia backing, of course, China is one of its strongest allies, and the US backing Japan. What does this mean for the Asia Pacific? We're joined by Global Affairs Analyst Kash Ononuju. He joins me via Zoom. Good to have you join us, Mr. Ononuju.
Thank you very much. It's good to be on your program.
So Japan seems to be taking a very assertive approach to China, as we now see, and that's under new Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi. What do you think is responsible for that change in posture?
Well, it's not an issue of change. It's the way it's going to be. The Chinese have learned not to trust both the United States and its allies within those South China Sea and anything very close to that periphery. It's been due to escalation of tensions within that zone that you've seen the issues of Taiwan is there, and then that of Japan, and most importantly for the Chinese, the activities of the US 7th Fleet. And this is where these problems are. The Chinese current crisis now with Japan is that it locked on its radar to Japanese aircraft. And that's what the Japanese are complaining about. And I think these things will continue to happen. They've happened before. Yes, and the United States, of course, has backed its allies. US will back Taiwan every day on this. US will back Japan, Thailand, Taiwan, and whoever that is its ally within those waters. And so there's particular alliances you see are not unexpected. Of course, Russia will continue to play alongside China and whoever that's against the United States. So these are the problems that we are seeing within that particular strait. And we expect them to continue to happen. They're not going to stop anytime soon. But I think
and just to follow up on that point of not stopping anytime soon, we know that Taiwan is China's biggest red line. It has said it before. It is a no-go area. But when you look at that statement coming from Beijing to Japan, it was carefully calibrated comments, and it seems just more like more than just a warning for Japan alone. Do you think that also was a warning, not just for Japan, but also for the U.S. and other countries who might want to cross that red line?
Well, while I say it wouldn't stop anytime soon, because those are territorial waters that are in dispute. Don't forget, China is on the edge about Taiwan. China is also on the edge about the activities of the US 7th Fleet. So, and who is Japan? Japan is an ally of the United States. So all China wants to tell you is whether you're doing testing now or you're doing maneuvers now or you're doing drillings now within those waters, the Chinese will not sit down and just watch it. Because the Chinese thinks anything can happen within those waters anytime going forward. Today, across the world, never mind the current crisis in Venezuela, those waters there within the South China Sea are the most hotly contested waterways on Earth. And with the US 7th Fleet permanently situated there, you're not going to expect China to be very comfortable with anybody who says they're doing drills, because people can go from drills to anything. Today's warfares come from surprises. But I'm not saying it's okay for China to be targeted and locking on radars for whoever is doing drills. But this is how it is. It is a very dangerous place within that waters. And of course, beside nearby is Taiwan. And the Chinese do not trust the Japanese because the Japanese are seen to be America's allies. Don't forget, the United States does keep a military base in Okinawa. So by inference, the Chinese do not see the Japanese as an autonomous navy or whatever you see.
Mr.
The
Nonuju,
Chinese see the Japanese as, yes.
Apologies for butting in, but we also know that both countries, that's China and Japan, share very bitter history arising from World War II. And those who have predicted, and not to be a doomsday prophet, but those who have predicted a World War III have often said that Luke is more likely to arise from the issue of China-Taiwan, than from Israel-Hamas or any other conflict going on in the world. But both countries are also each other's biggest trading partners. So where do you see things going next in this latest conflict?
I cannot advise anybody to think, putting a timeline on when things will get well on that particular strait. No, that's not true. As far as the tension does stay, the Chinese will continue to see Japan as an extension of the United States Navy. The Japanese are not on their own an autonomous navy. Because of the U.S. occupation of Okinawa, whatever it is that Japan does, the Chinese will continue to be suspicious of what the Japanese say they are doing. Right. So what you're seeing, yes, you call it Japanese, but the Chinese see that as an extension of the U.S. 7th Fleet. And that's why you're seeing this kind of China being ever ready. And that's why you're complaining about the targeting and locking on radars against those Japanese vessels by the Chinese government. This is where the problem is, and I don't expect this problem to slow down anytime soon. We're talking about the most contested waterfronts on Earth.
Absolutely.
We're talking about the most volatile waterfront on Earth today.
And we do have
and that's
to
why
leave
we will expect this kind of crisis to go on.
Absolutely. We do have to leave it there. We know that Russia and US are now involved. We'll see how that changes the dynamics of this conflict. Thank you so much for your time, as always. A global affairs analyst, Kash Ononuju.
Thank you for having me.